Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of How to Tech. In this video, we're going to be talking about the best antivirus as well as firewall protection for any single user, home PC, anything outside of a commercial environment or a corporate domain environment, what the best antivirus is for you to have, as well as the best firewall for you to have. Now, just to give you an idea, the difference between these two, antivirus is actually the blocking or the protecting of your device from malicious files that come onto the device in one way or the other. Whereas firewall protection is protection from any network connection that may be harmful to your computer, meaning a site that's malicious, a site or a program that reaches to a site that maybe is not secure. It could mean several different things, but ultimately it's blocking the connections versus remediating files or blocking actual files from antivirus that gets on your computer. That's a very broad overview, but that's basically the two different things. And they are two different pieces of software. They're not one in the same. And then we already talked about in a previous video about encryption and how to encrypt your drive and protect your data in case it's stolen. But today, the best software for you, if you're a PC user, is, drumroll, Windows Defender. Windows Defender antivirus, as well as the Windows Firewall, is the absolute best that you can have. Now, I know that some people will disagree with that, but let me just make my case here. So this software is free. It comes with Windows. It's built into Windows. It's literally built into the code of the operating system, and it is updated constantly. It's updated with new threat protection constantly through Windows updates. Did I mention it's free? And it has one of the biggest teams in the world in Microsoft around it, keeping it up to date, keeping it as advanced as it can. And if you buy a monthly subscription to an antivirus or a firewall, you are paying too much. If you're paying more than zero, you're paying too much, because this is free and it's seamless and it doesn't take up much of your system resources and bog your machine down. And so in my opinion, free, as long as it works, is the best. And so I've tried other ones. I've tried paid ones. I used some paid ones in a corporate environment. In all of that 15 years of using different antiviruses, this is, to me, the best one. All right, now let's just go through it real quick. So if you go to your security, it's just Windows Security, but it's Windows Defender is the official name. Let's just look at some of the things that you can do here. So when you go into your Windows Security, you can see virus and threat protection. They give you the little green checks if nothing's wrong on everything. So virus and threat protection is the first section here. You can scan your machine. You can do a quick scan. You can do go to scan options here, and you can do a full scan. Scan every single file on the computer. You can do a custom scan and scan just certain sections for viruses and malicious software. You can do an offline scan, meaning that it will actually restart your machine, and when your machine boots up, it'll scan before Windows loads, because sometimes some files are so rooted, the rootkit type of viruses are so deep into the machine that you cannot remove them unless you restart and remediate them before Windows even loads up. So you can do that scan here and remediate. You can also, as you get threats, sometimes you get false positives. Well, when you get false positives, you can make those allowed so that they don't come back again because you know it's safe. Here's an example of one that got blocked for me, and you can see here that this exe was blocked. It tells you what kind of virus it might be. It says that it might not be completely remediated. It says it displays deceptive product messages, and then you can always learn more on it. When this first happens, you can choose to either quarantine the file, remove it from your machine, or allow it. You can also, if you scroll on down, you can change your virus and threat protection settings. Now this is great. It's real-time protection. This is not after the virus is on your machine, then you're scanning it and the damage has already been done. This is real-time. So as soon as a file gets put on the machine that is deemed malicious, the Windows Defender will remove it from your machine immediately, or it'll quarantine it and let you know that there's a threat, and then you can make a decision on it. That is great. That is awesome, because you can click something and not know it, and then all of a sudden, from an email, from a PDF, from the internet, from anywhere, and have the file put onto your machine, and you had no idea that it was going to do that, but because this is real time, second by second, checking for those things, it will catch it and remove it for you. Now, sometimes that's a pain. Sometimes it finds things, again, that are false positives. You can go in here and turn this off for a certain amount of time if you need to. It even has cloud delivered protection, which I've turned off. I don't really like that, and I don't like the automatic sample submission. I just like to make it as lean as I possibly can, but you can do that if you want even more advanced security. It has tamper protection. This will stop any apps, any software that you download or install on your machine. It'll stop that software from making any changes to Windows Defender. One of the biggest virus problems of the past has been that the virus will turn off the antivirus and then it'll do whatever it wants. Well, this tamper protection allows that to be blocked as well. You can even control your folder access to where it will not allow applications to even make changes to certain folders that you choose. You can have exclusions to that list, and then you can make notifications for just about anything. All right, as we go back here, virus and threat protection updates. It was last updated, let's see, 4:10 p.m. today. It's 7:30. So, 3 hours and 20 minutes ago it was updated. And it's daily. It stays up to date. You can check for updates at any time. And then ransomware. You have ransomware protection, wherein you can protect files and folders from any changes at all. So like, even if you get ransomware on, I know I have this turned off right now, but if you get ransomware on your machine, and what happens with ransomware, which I'm sure you've seen it in the news lately, where the pipeline was shut down because of the hackers from Russia and all that. And anyway, this happens all over the world right now. It's happening all in hospitals and different places where they basically hold the company for ransom, encrypt all the files, don't let them have access to it until they pay them a certain amount of Bitcoin. Well, if you have this on, then this will not allow that ransomware to touch whatever files that you've deemed untouchable. It won't allow any unfriendly application to touch those files. So when the ransomware tries to get to them, it has to get through this first, and it won't be able to do that. So that's another really cool piece to the Windows Defender antivirus protection. You can also have account protection. If you have a Windows account, a Microsoft account that you're logged into, I'm not logged in with one, so I don't use this. And then this is the cool part to me also. This is awesome. So the firewall is built in with the antivirus. Now it's two different products, it's two different pieces of software, but they're intertwined together into one interface here in Windows. You're not going to find that almost anywhere else. And it's very well made, it's very efficient. You can check your firewall and your firewall status at any time. That's a network I'm connected to right now. You can my firewall right here is on. I can block all incoming connections if I wanted to from here. Going back, you can allow a certain app through the firewall if it's being blocked. And then this is, to me, the coolest part is if you go to the advanced settings, pulls up the old control panel version, and you can actually set rules here for inbound and outbound connections. And this is great because if I don't want something reaching from my computer out to the internet, I can block it completely from here. All I have to do is go New Rule, say it's a program, next. Where's the path to this program? And let's go to C drive, program files, and let's say I have this cute PDF writer, and I don't want this thing to ever reach out to the internet. I don't want it to reach out for updates. I don't want it to reach out for the ads that come up on it. I don't want it to reach out for anything. I can set that right here, press open, go to next, block the connection, next, block it on any network I'm on, name it. I'll just name it cute. We're naming the rule here, finish, and that's it. Now if I go back and look at it, it should be at the top. There it is, cute. It's got the little block icon. So now that program will never be able to reach out to the internet. And that's really good for some programs that you might use. So that's the firewall. It works very well. You have app and browser control. You even have these where you can set sites that are potentially malicious, that maybe don't have a good reputation to being blocked, or you can turn that off. You can have isolated browsing, where it actually lets your browser open in an isolated sandbox environment so that if anything does happen maliciously while you're browsing the internet, it doesn't actually come back and touch your computer. And you can have exploit protection as well. Data execution prevention, control flow guard. These are different pieces maybe of code or of SQL database code or different things that might be injected into a website or to a program. And if Windows detects that, it'll block it. It's just an advanced layer of protection there. And now device security. You can have core isolation, which means basically it blocks a lot of virtualization. And so if any attackers are trying to attack you through the virtual environment, like through an actual VM, any kind of VDI, it'll help block that. I turn that off. I use VMware for a lot of things, so I turn that off. But then it also has your security processor. That's your TPM, which we talked about in the BitLocker encryption video. That's also intertwined into this. Then you have your performance and health section, and then a family options that I'll never mess with. So that's Windows Defender and Windows Firewall. It is built in to your PC already. You don't need to go out and download extra software and put it on, and that's probably inferior. And then you don't need to pay for protection, especially if you're just a home user. If you're using your PC just for personal use, you're not a network of hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of PCs that hackers are going to be targeting and looking for all the time. And so this level of security that is provided by Microsoft is more than adequate for you at a great price. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you don't agree, let me know. Let me know in the comments if you don't think that that's true. If you think that there's something better, maybe paying is worth it because of a certain antivirus or firewall. I'd love to hear what you have to say. But if you like this video, go ahead and click like for me, subscribe for more. I appreciate you checking it out. This has been Adam with How to Tech, and I'll see you in the next video.